Welcome to Group B. The Underdog Cup continues. We have our first match in Group B now. The KD Seagents are playing against Sometimes You Just Win. The latter team name didn't quite fit onto my scoreboard, so I shortened it slightly. But after we had the KD Agents in Group A, we now have the KD Seagents in Group B. I have no idea if that is the sister team or what exactly is going on, but it would be kind of funny if the two would face up against each other in the bracket phase. But of course, now we have in Group B, once again, 4 teams, and only 2 will make it into the next phase of the tournament. If you're not familiar with the Underdog Cup, again, this whole thing just started. This is basically me trying to also boost the grassroots a little bit. I'm cooperating here with HeroesLounge. Obviously, are running the biggest amateur scene within the game. Currently heavily based and focused on Europe, of course. But they've had like amateur tournaments in the league for like years and years and years. I think going on to like nearly 10 years or something along those lines. And what I really felt last year in particular is that a lot of the teams that are playing in the amateur level, even when they have Grandmaster, Masters, or like the high diamond players, they are not really willing to jump into the big prize money tournaments. So I thought it would be a nice idea to also create a tournament that more caters towards them and gives them a bit of an opportunity to play on a competitive level in a tournament environment outside of just playing one match per week in their league. So this is exactly what we're doing with this. The Underdog Cup was created for that very reason, and teams that are eligible to play are currently in Division 2 or 3 of HeroesLounge. That gives us players on a high diamond level up to high masters, just roughly on average. And we had some great games already. It was a lot of fun. We didn't really know how many people would really interested in a tournament like this. So this is a bit of a test balloon for us as well to see how the audience reacts, how the teams would react. And we limited, therefore, from the beginning to 8 teams. I'm actually really happily surprised by how many of the teams responded, and we had like enormous amount of sign-ups immediately. So if this is a success and we decide to do it again, we might also run it with more teams in the future. But currently we have, again, Tomb of the Spider Queen as our first map. We have a best of 3 series in our hands. The one rule in the draft is that every single hero can only be played once within a series. If you are following the channel for a long time, then you are quite familiar with that concept. But that means that every single hero that you see in a game cannot be played within the same match. So that's essentially what's happening here. And should be a lot of fun. I'm actually looking forward to it. This should be pretty good. We have now Blaze and ETC for stuns on the side of Sometimes You Win. Falstad for some nasty gusts. And Anduin is also sneaking into quite a lot of the games actually in the last few days here. Whereas for the blue team now, we're coming in with our final 2 picks. Dehaka plus Muradin. So already some stuns set up. Jojo, interestingly enough, again not making an appearance in the draft. Usually she is a high priority on a pick or a ban, but hasn't been claimed by either. Now we get Sylvanas and we get Tychus. Okay, so Tychus is in the house, so Sylvanas. And with that we get Sergeant Hammer as the final pick. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 1 of first match in Group B of the Underdog Cup. The KD Seagents on the left in blue with No Scope Ninja playing Murden right now. We're currently having Joey on Rega, Carol Barrel on Tychus, Time Bullet on Dehaka, and Neptibus is playing Sylvanas in the first game of the series. Over on the right side, we got Hajudino on Sergeant Hammer, Kensei on Anduin, Patapon on Blaze, Snowbee on Falstad, and the Bouncy Bear is playing ETC. Now this is a lost opportunity. If you know him yourself, Bouncy Bear, then I expect you to play Chen, to be honest with you, because that's the only bear that I know within the game that is bouncing around quite a lot. I guess you could go for Misha, but Misha is a little bit too sophisticated to just bounce around, if you know what I mean. So she's usually a little bit more, yeah, just generally a little bit more sophisticated and doesn't just bounce around. She strides into battle with style and then just destroys opponents. So that's what she does. But we already have the first little fight down here. No battle in the middle, but it nearly cost Blaze his life, and Murden also was taking a slight beating. Yeah, in the meantime, Sylvanas has moved towards the top and is now currently dealing with Sergeant Hammer. So that's the first one that has to deal with her. The problem, of course, is that currently there's no movement talent for Sergeant Hammer yet. We have to wait until level 7 for that. Neptibus is being pushed back too, as Falstad is starting to move in. And there's actually a lot of aggression here. Everybody is just rotating around and trying to get damage in. No Scope Ninja barely makes it out of the fight. That could have been first blood. Only a few auto attacks were missing, and that could have been lights out right there. But still able to escape. And Sylvanas, now that the the mercenaries have spawned is making her way straight back down to the bottom of the map in an attempt to ensure that they are getting some good value here with those siege giants. Whereas the red team has immediately moved over towards the right side and starting to take their own bruiser camp. So everybody is focused on mercenaries. We have also up at the top an attempt to go for Falstad. Nice! That Stormbolt was actually pretty cute. Very nice hit, and that was a cool idea. I like it. Didn't result in a kill, but it definitely got the heart rate of Snowby up by a lot and forced the barrel back towards base and the fountain. There's still a bit of push potential now in the middle from the red team as they're trying to take at least parts of the wall out here. And that's essentially what we're seeing, but the defense is so far holding on strong. And at the bottom of the map, as Blaze is defending, the Haka is the one trying to protect the siege giants so they can get some extra damage in against those walls. But he is looking actually quite good here. So Blaze is a bit distracted, which allows the Haka to now turn in. Always nice when your bottom laner, your side laner is able to get an easy turn in. That's not all that easy usually, so that's definitely a neat move to be able to pull that off. But the problem for the blue team is that here in the middle, they are definitely having some trouble. Sergeant Hammer might not have that mobility yet, but with Anduin right behind her, you have the advantage that when things are really going wrong, she can always be pulled out. So the push for the camp on the left side, a lot of brawls happening, a lot of little small fights as the teams are trying to get the first kill, but thus far we haven't had any. We get on level 4 Master Assassin for Tychus for their passive increase in the attack speed. And then on top of that, Siege Tactics are in, Anduin with the Moral Compass after the Power World Shield. Lots of words already. And down to the bottom of the map, that's where we're getting cut upon against a Time Bullet here, still locked into a fight. While we're talking about this, I'm actually very, very happy. I talked a bit about... Actually, I scolded the community a bit and I said, like, listen, guys, I asked for puns and I didn't get any. And I'm very happy that people actually took that to heart and sent a couple of puns in on the YouTube video. So, in particular, well, we see the turn in here. I kind of want to shout out FD2NE. I have no idea how to pronounce the name, but one of the best ones, like, do you guys actually know what the fish said when he swam into a wall? Damn. 10 out of 10. Absolutely love it. So, yep, shout out to him. We have a couple more that I will sprinkle in on occasion. And if you feel that you have any better ones, then feel free to post them, and I'm going to try and work them in the future. But that one was actually fantastic. He had a few more, but we'll see if we add them in the future, yeah. So, yeah, good dad jokes, always welcome here. 7 kicks in, and that gives us also the Hover Siege mode. So now it's party time for Sergeant Hammer. Muradin has gone into Reverberation as the level 4 talent. And down here it is turn-in time. And so far the blue team is actually the one bit ahead here. And interrupting Muradin too. No Scope Ninja is not able to get this one connected. By now we're having top side still Sylvanas locked into that battle with Falstad. So that fight is still ongoing. And yeah, I still think that the blue team, I mean, they are so dangerously close to getting that turn in. It shouldn't really take them too long to make that happen. At least you wouldn't think so. So, Time Bullet down here. In trouble. Nice dodge. Oh, and still nearly gets killed. That was close. That was way too close for comfort. I really don't think that he expected that second hit to land there. So, good. I mean, lucky for him that that worked out. Rhaegar, on the other hand, up here was taken out by Falstad, so that's first blood, and it also forces the blue team back, which means that their opponents now have an opportunity to work on that turn-in. This is exactly what we're already slowly starting to see here. But, yep, well done. So, nice little moves that they're executing with this currently. What we're obviously getting as well is now down at the bottom of the map, still that pressure towards that wall, but the blue team has been able to sneak the turn-in after all. So while the red team got first blood and a small lead in experience, we have now the first objective, the first set of web weavers for Team KD Seagens. And let's see what they can do with it. They need to hurry up a bit because level 10 is soon going to be ready for their opponents. If they could get a kill now, that would be fantastic, but even if they don't, just push a bit while you don't have that talent disadvantage. Once level 10 talents kick in, you are going to be in a little bit of trouble no matter what. So this would really be the moment to make a bit of a move here. And that's exactly what they're trying to do against Falstad. Super low, nice, the top wall falling. Falstad still alive, and here come the level 10 abilities. For sometimes you just win. The red team may with a chance here. Anduin with a light bomb. We got the BFG. Bunker as usual. And here come heroics on the blue team side. So the window was a small one. Couldn't really been exploited here by the red team. But right now the Siege Giants, or sorry, the Web Weavers essentially defeated. That gust kind of saved the Haka. Okay, I think that was planned slightly differently. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened there, but I can only assume that was a different plan. Or ETC just wanted to show dominance. I was like, look at that. I'm even wasting my cooldown in the middle of nowhere where there's nobody to dance with because I don't need it. That's how much you guys suck. I mean, it just felt like it. ETC just felt like dancing, and you know, sometimes you just have to go for it. And that's exactly what we got here. So yeah, good for ETC. I like it. It came a bit out of nowhere, so I gotta admit. But yeah, either way, bottom of the map, that fort has taken the most damage so far. We now have the Haka still locked into the tiny battle over here, but might have gone a little bit too far in this time. So after it took a long time for the Haka to die, he now finally did. So Padapon was working on this for ages. Here comes the gust from Falstad, but Mirrodin, there's the first stun. Avatar could be used, gets used, Ancestral as well. And that saves the dwarf. Mirrodin is still alive and kicking here. So yeah, good for him. Rhaegar, in the meantime, with the rest of the team, is trying to go for the mercenary camp again. So they're starting to work that in once more. And over here on the right side with 2 kills to 0, we're now seeing the red team move towards the middle again as they're trying to take one of the I was about to say bell towers, one of the forts out, but they're looking for the kill and they get it. Mirrodin is gone. Lots of momentum for the red team. They also have a lot of gems, by the way. They haven't turned those gems in yet, but they definitely could. They could turn in a whole lot of gems and get Web Weavers. That's exactly what they're doing right now. So Web Weaver wave number 1 is already coming down. They will have a level 13 talent to go with it, and if everything goes well for them, they can follow up with a second one immediately after, I believe. So right now, they have the talent advantage, trying to push the opponent back, trying to go for Time Bullet in the same movement, attempting to get the kill here. Hasn't quite worked out, but it's more important what they can do with the objective, because here in the middle the fort has already taken damage, and that's a huge opportunity right now to try and get that hit. But they're actually moving away pretty quickly here. Not sure I agree with that, if I'm honest. You have a talent advantage and you have your Web Weavers. You should try and utilize that. I guess they just wanted to move away from Odin, have a chance to move down to the bottom of the map, but as Falstad pushes top, they re-engage in the middle. Get Sergeant Hammer in position here. 3 kills to 0 in their favor, so they're doing okay. Down at the bottom of the map, Web Weavers are doing damage, but the Haka's defending, nobody's pushing. And that means that it's only a limited amount of damage that can be dished out here. All of the forts have taken damage on the blue team side now, but nothing has been destroyed. And I actually think that there were a few opportunities to get some of those structures eliminated. I think one fort could have been destroyed here for sure. But then again, as is right now, they just go for the camp again. They also have, as I pointed out a bit earlier, still enough gems to get a turn in. I mean, they could technically get 2 more. They've been really hoarding these. And the issue is, of course, since nobody died on the red team side, they haven't lost any gems, which means that they're still holding on to a ton of these. But it's the blue team that was able to sneak in and get the turn in. So kudos to the blue team for able to pull that off. Sylvanas, though, dying is a huge setback. Just as you get your objective, she's down for 27 seconds. So that means immediately that they're going to have a really tough time to now get that turn in to actually mean something. Red team is already defending over here at the fort. The Haka is the only one that might have a chance to push for a structure at the bottom of the map. Nobody's defending there. Blaze is starting to move in, but he's going to be a bit late to the party, so there's a good chance that this fort falls. I don't think they can save this one. Blaze is just a little bit too late to make a difference here. So this fort is not going to make it. Falstad is defending at the top lane. And over here in the middle, yeah, the Haka is still being hit. With 22 gems, or 21, he has to be careful too. And Sergeant Hammer made it out as well, but up at the top, there's still pressure. And Sylvanas, of course, enables that push easily and allows them to go for another fort. The bottom one has, by the way, not been eliminated. There's a party. Now we're dancing. That is way more like it. ETC with an ult redeeming himself. The light bomb connect. And after Sylvanas, Tychus falls too. That's 6 kills to 0 now. For sometimes you just win. And they're chasing the no-scope ninja, who might be able to jump out here. 21,000 damage for Tychus, by the way. 40,000 for Sergeant Hammer. And with all those kills, sometimes you win makes an immediate move towards the boss. They have a level 16 talent now too, which of course is also pretty helpful here. So yeah, nice for them. Get the 16 talent, get the push for the boss, and can take that on next. And then the only question that remains is how much damage can they do structurally? Because at the bottom of the map, the red team has now lost their first fort. And let's face it, the one at the top is so low in HP that it shouldn't take too long for the blue team to take this one out as well. All they need to do is move a single hero over and start attacking it with a few auto attacks, and that's that. So while the red team has been taking a lot of kills and made some really nice moves, they haven't done anything really when it comes to structure destruction. Damaged a couple, but not much more than that. So we'll see how far they can go with this. Because as it stands right now, they still have a long way to go with this. But the fort is gone. The boss nearly defeated, and we were talking 13 minutes in. But here come the Web Weaver, so they followed the boss up with a Web Weaver wave. And that should allow them to, at a minimum, destroy the fort in the middle as well. So there is finally some momentum on structure damage that is also kicking in for the red team. Because one of the big risks that you always run into in a situation like this is that you simply don't get enough out of your kills. You get your kills, you get your objectives, but you can't translate that into structure damage, into destroying forts and keeps, and then your opponent eventually catches up and turns the game around on you. So they are now trying to prevent that from happening and yeah, making their play there, and we'll see if they can pull it off. I mean, right now they destroy the fort at the bottom of the map, so that's already something. Good for them. And as you can see here, we still have the chance to maybe now push through the middle as well and do a bit more work, but they decide to not even push with the Web Weaver at the bottom of the map and instead just slowly fall back towards the top. Attempting to take the Haka down, who already got the memo that he should probably move away from the lane or he's going to be in for a nasty surprise. So the Haka is moving out, is rushing away. Blue team has started to focus back onto the camp on the bottom left side, and the Siege Giants, they have already been taken. So yeah, Siege Giants have already been claimed here, and of course with that now again a couple of opportunities to maybe push for some structures at the bottom. There's also plenty of gems for the blue team. We've been talking a lot about the gems that were being held by the team on the right side of the map, but the boys in blue, they also got a fair amount here. So yeah. But okay, with that all said and done, that means that right now we have maybe a chance for more Web Weavers on the side of the KD Seagents. They still need a kill though! They still haven't gotten a single kill. I'm still waiting for that opportunity, you know, where you have Murden with a Stormbolt, where you have the Haka with a Tong, and then Tychus and Sylvanas just dishing out the damage. But none of that has happened so far. So they're really struggling on that front. It's a little bit wild when you think about it, because then, I mean, they're behind, but it's not that crazy. It's a level. Yet they're 0-6 in kills. They've lost 3 forts, but they've also destroyed a structure. They have nearly taken out the one at the top. It should fall now. So they still can get back into this game. This is not something that is impossible to bridge by any means. There are still huge opportunities here to turn the game around, but they have to finally get some kills, and up to now it just hasn't happened. Now the attack in the middle as they're trying to change that finally, and of course they want to take down that fort too. So good damage already coming out of this. Down at the bottom of the map we have a Web Weaver moving straight in towards the keep wall. That's definitely something that the red team will have to respect and to react to. That's where Falstad comes into play. Already started to make his move down to the bottom of the map and is working on this as we speak. But yeah, there is definitely a lot of potential right now for the blue team. They're taking out the fort at the top with ease. No problem for them there, of course. The Web Weaver can take that pretty much solo, especially since nobody has been trying to defend there. But they need some kills. On Varian's Legacy on level 20, now that those Storm Talents are in. Light Bomb, Falset flies in. They wanted to go for the Gus, but the blue team just immediately disengaged. The problem with the red team chasing like this is that they are abandoning their top lane fully. And that's tons of damage. That keep is going to take damage. That's what we're looking at right now. The keep will take some damage. So structurally, you could even argue that the KDC gens are nearly ahead. They still have to take out the fort in the middle of the map. That's the only reason why I say nearly. But they are not in a horrible spot, considering that they haven't gotten a single kill yet. Oh boy. So, maybe we're gonna see that soon. But yeah, they gotta do something in order to change this. By the way, quick note, if you guys want to play in HeroesLounge yourself, if you want to play Heroes of the Storm the way that it's really meant to be played, and not just like this disaster that is Hero League, then check them out at heroeslounge.gg. You can sign up as an individual player, you can sign up as a team. Just go to the website, check it out, you can sign up there directly, and if you have any questions, you can also go to the link Discord and ask them there. They have a super active community, they've been around for ages. It doesn't matter if you're in Wood League or if you're a Grandmaster, you will find a team and players to play with. And it's just a lot more fun if you have like-minded people that you can engage with in a game like Heroes. So definitely check them out if you haven't. Muradin here, you should also have checked maybe the minimap a little bit more, because that was a pretty important kill. He's down just as those Web Weavers and the boss that was claimed by Sometimes You Win are coming into play. They are in need of a tank in order to pull that defense off, and it's made insanely difficult right now. I'm not quite sure if they can hold this one, to be honest with you. Because at this point we have 7 kills to 0, and this topside keep is very likely to fall, and then just the core is in the way. Dehaka is currently attempting to defend the middle. Down at the bottom of the map, it's still the minion waves that they're relying on. But this push is nasty. That boss is at 50% HP, granted, but there's a Web Weaver right behind, and without Muradin, their tank, this is a tough defense. The core is already starting to lose hit points, and this is not looking good for the KDC gens in game number 1 of the best of 3 series. That's game. Sometimes You Just Win pulls off a nearly perfect game, not a single death on their side as they lock in the lead in the best of 3. GG.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet, so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Aldrich Pass is the second map in this series. Now, once again, we are in the first series of the group. It's essentially a 4-team double elimination system that we're running, GSL system if you so want. So after the first 2 matches, the winners and the losers will face each other. The winner of the winners match qualifies directly for the next phase, and the loser from the winners match has another chance in the consolation match. The heroes that have been played on the first map cannot be played again, so they are already out. That's 10 heroes removed, just mixes things up a little bit, forces teams to not totally one trick. Now that Aldrich passes the map, we could definitely get also some heroes that are even more focused on globals. The Haka and Falset have of course already been played, so they can't be played again. But you can still play around an Uburak, let's say, and even Samuro has oftentimes made an appearance here so that they can cheese in the objective. We have also a few other heroes that could technically try and act as a pseudo-global, especially since we are currently operating in the level of Division 2 and Division 3. Illidan with Hunt is not unheard of. Maybe not your most common pick, but has happened. Kerrigan gets banned out, and we get Karazim. Alright, as a bald brother, I absolutely recommend that. So Karazim comes in and is our first pick of the game. Which is a little bit wild, honestly. Like, Karazim as the first hero to be chosen? That's a bold choice. Brightwing and Garrosh. Pun intended. Brightwing and Garrosh as a follow-up here. And now we get Medivh. I mean, if you're getting any kind of isolation, let's say with the Stitches Gorge here, then I can see how Karazim could also help you a lot, because you're getting the hero that you gorged through the portal and then you unleash a 7-sided strike on them. So there's a lot that you could technically do with that. If they're really going for Stitches or not is a very different question though. But Medivh is an absolute monster when played correctly here. I gotta admit, I currently just have puns running through my head. Now that I asked people to write some puns in the comments on YouTube, I've gotten some really good ones, and I just find most of them hilarious. So, we'll go over a few more of those. But yeah, feel free to add some more if you can. Zagara has been played a lot, by the way, in this tournament. We had one team in Group A that was very fond of Zagara. She wasn't too successful for them, but they like to play her. Now she gets banned, and with Garrosh taken, I would love to see... There's Illidan! There's Illidan! I talked about the pseudo-global, and if he goes Hunt, then we're gonna get exactly that. I was just about to say that I could see Zarya being picked here and going for that Garrosh-Zarya combo, but yeah, it seems like they're going down a different path. I'm absolutely on board with Illidan, though. Greymane, and what else do we get? What is the Bouncy Bear gonna get? If you go for Stitches, you have a Teddy Bear skin. Let's not forget about that. So there is another opportunity right here. Just thought about that. Sad times. We get Mei instead. Stitches, Kidnap combo with Medivh Portals and Karazim 7-sided strike unfortunately isn't happening. It would have been too good to be true here. And the Bouncy Bear on a Bouncy Bear skin Stitches, but none of that. So, Neptabis as the last pick for the blue team. They are going to try and catch up here in force game number 3. Alderac Pass is our second map in the series. And they still need a bit more on the front, and they go for Thrall. Ladies and gentlemen, map number 2. The KD Seagens on the left with Neptabis on Thrall playing Green Jesus. No Scope Ninja on Garrosh. We got Time Bullet on Illidan, Carol Barrel on Chromie, and Joey on Brightwing. Sometimes you win with the lead in the best of 3 and therefore on match point. On the right side in red with Padapon on Zul. Haj Junio on Medivh. We got Kenze on Karazim. Snowbee on Greymane. And Bouncy Bear is playing Mei. On level 1 we get Immolation for Illidan. And let's go and brawl it out in the middle. I like the lack of pleb mounts. I like that actually quite a lot. It doesn't really seem like we're going to get a 5 versus 5 or anything, so it's time for a good old dad joke, and the pun of the game goes to Rabenfraß. What did one ocean say to the other? Nothing. They just waved. Did you guys see what I did there? I'm sure you did. Oh, I like this. The dumbest puns in the universe, and they're amazing. I'm here for every single one of them. Oh boy. Yeah, Bouncy Bear is here for a bit of fighting action, but with Illidan really trying to get that kill, that could have been first blood of the game. So, over on the top right, that's where we get Greymane right now, trying to take the camp immediately, but Illidan is also on the way. Both of the teams diligently going for the camp. I already like it. So at the 1 minute mark, camp spawn, and both of them are immediately on point trying to grab that. Whereas down at the bottom, Mei is currently holding her own against Brightwing. Yeah, very tough times, I know. But as Brightwing is always looking out for murder, Mei needs to be a bit careful here, and currently is. So, well, what do we get with that? I mean, first and foremost, we have in the middle now, as the two camps are clashing, a little bit more action right here. Medivh, as usual, just scouting everything out and having a little bit of a look of what he can pull off then eventually. I mean, at the end of the day, Medivh obviously a cheater, not only with an inbuilt map hack, but also trying to get those portal games to annoy the opponent into oblivion until they commit honorable Sudoku. But right now, what I personally ask myself is, can he complete his baseline quest? Yeah, we're going to have an eye on that. So far, he hasn't really done too much there. Already a little bit of a slide quickly. The first portals are also out. Zul has the wave clear where he can easily rotate between the lanes now and later. So that might play a big role as all of this continues. Definitely going to be interesting if his CC is something that they can rely upon as all of this continues as well, of course. Because when you're up against someone like Illidan, you really want to make sure that you lock him down. Usually stuns are the best thing against Illidan. It's not blind, but you really just want to get the CC in and then start to completely take him apart here. And they have a few tools that they can use. Mei, obviously, mostly, but you can also work with Zul to an extent. I'm still a little bit afraid that in the late game, Illidan might just run over them a bit too much. Thrall over here playing this really, really slow, not interested in moving too far out onto the lane, fully aware that there's a chance that the red team is looking for a gank. So he's just trying to freeze the lane a little bit and make it harder for the opponent to gank up on him. Escorts everything into tower range and works with the wall here to take this one out. So good news for him. Job well done, not a problem. And then in the middle we have the red team still trying to push a little bit further. The stacks are not really all that crazy for Medivh. At this point we have him on 6, so nothing to write home about yet. Chromie is trying to get some damage connected, but the pressure that mounts up from sometimes you win is already quite something. And again, they have the lead in this series as well. So if they win game number 2, then they would move on to the winner's match and would send the KDC gems down into the loser's match of Group B. Illidan on level 7 now with Unbound. Thrall going straight into Ancestral Wrath and at 4 stacks on his level 4 talent. So needs 2 more in order to complete that. And that's definitely doable. I mean, Thrall has a really good chance of getting this done pretty quickly. As long as he waits for someone to tee up the wolf attack for him. Ideally, of course, Garrosh. And Illidan is just like starting to farm down the bot map. With him going for Immolation as the level 1 ability, he is obviously also a bit more wave clear. And can easily sit on that side lane. But the next fight already starting back up in the middle of the map, with the red team immediately accumulating a few more of their forces and getting the numbers advantage. Thrall sitting at 5. This is really the moment where you want to make sure that you do not lose those stacks. Don't get killed. Don't miss one. Play it safe. So we'll see if they can. I mean, currently... Oh, they are going for Medivh. The shield. And he's able to get away. But that is a bit close. That is definitely a bit close. Gotta be super careful with that, my friend. Medivh has 17. That might not be insane, but it's still not something that you want to lose at this point. So a lead on the objective for the blue team. It's still a winner takes all, of course. So we'll still be a lot of time to try and figure out who is able to get the first objective of the game. With level 7 talents kicking in, we're now also getting the Wizened Duelist here for the red team. No kill in this game just yet. And don't forget, that means that in total in this series, the blue team hasn't gotten a single kill yet. So they're still working on that. Still want to make sure that they're at least getting a couple of kills here. Now, in the middle, with Chromie using the Slowing Sands, they put, at least for now, Karazim into a bit of a tough spot, but he was able to make it out of the fight too. Level 10 abilities give us, as expected, Avalanche. We also have the Bullet now from Greymane. Again, camps are being fought over. Sundering is in for Thrall now, so it is again dead even. And there we get the Warlord's challenge for Garrosh. Thrall! No, he lost his stacks, and now he might lose his life too. Already lost his stacks, and now he's taken down. Illidan at least gets saved, but he's not going to be happy about this. Level 4 talent is completely reset. He must have missed one. I actually didn't even catch that, but I saw that it was reset back down to 1, and then he died too. So now we have first blood for Sometimes You Just Win, and they are able to reset the stacks on Thrall. So yeah, huge win for them there. At least a small win. And yeah, I'm gonna be pretty happy about that. Question is always how much more they can do as the objective is being focused again, because this is exactly where we're now being headed. So yeah, right now, little attack here as they are going straight in for that prisoner camp again. Sometimes You Win is still trying to defend this though. And here comes the ley line. Already slowly starting to retreat here. 7-sided strike, not a problem. Indomitable also being used. Illidan still pretty deep. It was early in the game. He's not super powerful yet, but he's already causing some problems for the red team. Illidan could really be their downfall. If he gets a good lock into the mid and late game, then there's a good chance that he is going to run the show for his team. Now the blue team, again, starting the channel, and it seems like this time they're going to be able to grab the objective. Medivh is just flying around, but not really doing anything. He's at 23 stacks on the baseline. And there it is. We're going to get the cavalry for the KDC gens. So, yeah, good for them. Illidan has the hunt. So the pseudo global, which also allows him to control the map a little bit more. 16,000 damage for Chromie now. And we now have 10,000 on the side of Mei, which, funnily enough, is the main damage dealer at this point in time for the red team. That's actually hilarious. Mei is your top damage. Another great move, and this time they get a kill. Mei gets the ult out. Super cool avalanche. Second time that she's able to pull that off. And this time it results in a kill. Illidan goes down, and that is the second kill for the red team. It's going to make their defense a bit easier for sure. How much they can do with it, very different question, of course. But at least they saved the bottom fort. It seems like they're going to save everything in the middle as well. It's of course the first objective of the game, so never all that strong. But now, wow! Leyline, portal, and shield, and they get Greymane out of that spot. Nice. I mean, that was something. That was really, really well done. So, huge win from the red team now. That should have been the first kill, honestly. I can't believe that they weren't able to lock the kill in here. But that was a great reaction, and Medivh just ruining another play, as he likes to do. Medivh is a little bit of a dick, let's be honest about this. Every time that you feel, okay, we got a kill, we make the big play, everything is working fantastic for us, out of nowhere, Medivh comes in and just ruins your day. It's always the same thing with that guy. One of the worst heroes, one of the worst characters in this game, for sure. I mean, that guy, nobody really likes him. So, yeah, Medivh, just annoying people ever since he was released. But, 14 on both sides, slight advantage in experience for the red team. The level 13 talents we now have Unfettered Assault. Medivh is still sitting at 26. He's very slow in getting his stacks in. Thrall is still working on a level 4 talent, of course, and is now on 3. But, yeah, down to the bottom of the map. How much more can they pull off there? That's the next question. Yeah, let's see how much they're actually able to do right here. Because currently, Thrall is reset back to 0. Objective hasn't been announced yet either. We still could technically go for... no, we could obviously technically go at this point again for a boss, but nobody really wants to risk that. So that's the next thing. Greymane on the right side is again going for the camp. So far, so good. And yeah, well, with the objective spawning again, another 7 seconds. There's now plenty of things to do. I got the boss art, we got a couple more camps that could be claimed. We have also the objective still spawning. But it's not really a kill-heavy game right now. Honestly, when you just look at this, currently what's happening here is that everybody is just desperately trying to play it safe, not make a huge mistake that could cost them the game. So, yeah, they're still just attempting to make as safe of a play as they possibly can. And currently it's the red team that is a little bit more willing to risk something here, and they move in with a level 16 talent advantage. A small one, but still, to go for the start on the objective on the camp. But the blue team will have to react to it now. Now that they have level 16 talents, makes it a bit easier for them. Thrall has still not completed his level 4. Illidan hunts in. Okay, they start to go for the engage. And this time the avalanche misses. But Illidan is the one that falls. Illidan is eliminated. Now they go for Garrosh. That could be another kill. He's trying to make it out. Medivh completes his quest too. Great for him. Medivh with a completed quest. Garrosh is eliminated. That's the second kill in this team fight. For Sometimes You Just Win. And while they haven't lost a single hero yet, they gotta retreat after all. But job well done. So nice moves here by the red team. They could go for the objective now too, but since everybody is a bit low, they prefer to go to the fountain first. Thrall is back up at 4 stacks. But sometimes you win, they just don't lose heroes. That's the biggest problem. This is now the... How many kills did they get? I don't even remember how many kills they got in the last game, to be honest with you. But they have a 4-0 count now, and the blue team is just not able to kill anybody. Every time that they're getting close, it's another play from Medivh that just ruins whatever they had planned. Now the boss is taken at the top, so sometimes you win has another chance to take a fort out. And that's starting to get pretty crazy. Topside fort will fall. Nobody is... Well, they're defending now, but it's a bit too late, I think. Greyman has already done damage, and the boss is going to finish the job. Still, they could try and get a kill here. Quest completed for Thrall. Good for him. At least he gets that. They get the ley line out against Garrosh. Portals are there too. Medivh gets attacked. Portals out. Dromi immediately with the damage in the back. They're turning it on Zul now. They really want that one kill. But the Poison Nova from Zul does tons of damage here. Illidan is still trying to jump around. Thrall rushing away in an attempt to escape. He got hit by May's ult, and that is another big hit. And, of course, Thrall gone. So, kill number 5 for the red team. They destroyed the fort thanks to the boss, and they are also able to do some significant damage at that wall thanks to the boss moving in and doing even more. So, from their perspective, everything here is honestly working just absolutely perfect. And the red team has then rotated straight back down to the bottom of the map after that first little play and decided that they're going to go for the next boss here. So they're going to go for the double boss play. It moves them to the bottom of the map though, which of course means that they have to abandon the objective for just a moment. That's exactly where the blue team is trying to take advantage of now. So they started to move in and try and claim it, but in the process they lose Garrosh again, and the objective hasn't been won either. So it's tough times here. 6 kills to 0, 1.5 level lead roughly for the red team, and now they also have the chance to go for the objective again, which is exactly where they're headed. Chromie has 33,000 damage by now. She's the top damage dealer in the game. Zul is sitting at 28,000. And it is a wild game. I mean, the blue team just can't get kills. Every time you think, okay, they got a chance to come back now, they again get wrecked. The boss at the bottom, Brightwing and Illidan are trying to defend the fort and are not really able to make that happen, but at least they can take this bad boy down. Illidan running Immolation, as I pointed out earlier, so this means he can deal with the minions a little bit easier and give his team some experience. But we now have the Raiders moving cross-map. It's the first objective for the red team, and if they're able to take a few of the keeps out here and remove armor shields from the core, they're getting a step closer to winning the entire series. Again, they already have the lead here, so they are in a great spot. Big attack coming through the middle, and to make matters worse for the KD Seagems, this is now level 20 that they're facing off against. That gives us Mortal Wound, we got Medivh Cheats, Transgression and Tooth and Claw here, and, well, May with the big one. So fully going into Snowblind here the entire time. Also to counteract, of course, a bit what Illidan is bringing to the table, who still hasn't completely unleashed yet. I mean, the topside keep is about to go down. Level 20 is soon gonna come in for the blue team too, but they're just losing more ground. They lose Illidan and now they're down to 3 defenders. Garrosh gets also attacked. This is not looking pretty at all. This might even cost them the game now. The KD Seagems are about to lose another keep, and once that's down, that's 2 armor shield removes, and that opens the core up for you. That makes it much easier to go for the core. Garrosh makes it out, and honestly, that alone might just have saved them the game, at least for now. Because if Garrosh falls and there's another kill coming in for the red team, I'm pretty sure that they're just going to continue straight for the core and win the game right then and there. For the blue team, it's a disaster no matter what. With Illidan, they have at least a pseudo-global, so they can have him on a lane, deep push, and then join the fight with a hunt. But they need level 20, and they need to take some structures down, either by claiming an objective or going for the bosses when they're respawning. Illidan not going for Nowhere to Hide, but Bolt of the Storm instead. We get the same from Thrall. But, whew, this is gonna be a toughie. They haven't taken a single fort out yet. They really need to hurry on that. Or the lane pressure alone is just going to completely crush them. That's the big problem for them right now. So, yeah, fight in the middle. 1 single kill is what they got earlier. Now here comes the attack. They want a second one. And can they take... No! Illidan, he is so close in this case, but he falls again, sundering to save Brightwing. May escaped. Medivh is the only one that died earlier, but there was a chance to get a second kill here. But now they're losing just too much. Once again, it's a no-scope ninja that has to also cleanse himself out with Indomitable as he moves back. Zul was attempting to stop him and get the kill. Chromie and Brightwing are the only two over here that haven't died on the blue team side. 9 kills to 1. One single kill in 2 games is just not enough. And now with the numbers advantage in favor of the red team, what they are doing is instantly moving towards the boss. They know when they grab this one, they can essentially go for the core. So the blue team is forced to fight into this, even though they don't have the numbers. But everybody's low on the red team side. There is a chance to win this, but the ley line from Edith again. Zul is at least down. They're trying to take this one. Illidan 8 seconds. He has the hunt not on cooldown. It is on cooldown, sorry. He doesn't have it ready. Brightwing jumps out as Thrall fell as well. They had to go for it. There was no other choice here. But Brightwing is now gone. Illidan dying in that last fight and not being ready for this battle was just a bit too much. So here comes the attack. That's basically everybody wiped off the map. And this is going to be the win for the red team. Just nothing else to do about it. Red team with a fantastic performance, honestly. Sometimes you win with some great plays here. That was exactly what they needed. They allowed 2 kills against them. Everything else they shut down from the get-go. And this is a pretty clean victory with a 2-0 in the first group match in Group B. And with that, sometimes you win. Moves on to the winner's match, and the KD Seagens drop down into the loser's match of the second group here at the Underdog Cup. Nicely done, GG, and well played.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.